No! So this scene doesn't have to be logically consistent because it ends up being a dream and all, but the idea of these guys just completely barreling through the door is very funny to me. Also, nice opening attack, Korra. You really messed them up with that fire kick that went nowhere. What is this? It's like when you can only punch in slow motion in a dream? And I guess Korra was only dreaming about it being a full moon, so I guess that one doesn't really count.
There is a madman running around our beloved city, threatening to tear it apart.
Why does Tarlok get a gavel when no one else does? You assume that everyone else on the council represents the other nations. Fire Nation, Earth Kingdom, Southern Water Tribe, and the Air Nomads. So if they're all equals, why is Tarlok the only one with the power to hit the table officially? Tarlok's introduction is an interesting one. The scene basically acts as a setup for him and his ambitions, and a light hint at the Yukon stuff we learn later.
Threatening to tear it apart. We need to create a task force whose sole mission is to find Amon and bring him to justice.
His first line is pretty good. You can tell he's direct, and he's certainly a man of action, which is what he is for the rest of the season. Pretty good one.
Eventually, he will come for all us benders, our friends, our families.
We also learn a line or two later that he is a rat snake weasel who seems to want to stoke unease in his peers to grab the power that becomes available because of it, just like Amon is doing, which is an interesting little parallel there. Oh, you son of a bitch, it's a full moon the next night anyway, man! This is an interesting little scene. First of all, I like that we get to see Korra practicing her circle movements. We see Aang do similar stuff in early Airbender and throughout.
Good evening, my fellow equalists.
Amon on the radio is supposed to create a red herring here, I think. You immediately got bad vibes from Tarlok, and right away in this scene, Amon has information from the meeting.
The Republic Council has voted to make me public enemy #1.
Which very well might be public info at this point, since it's night now and it was day during the meeting, but it feels weird from a viewer's perspective. Amon and Tarlok have very similar strategies when manipulating their compatriots, and they even give him an evil smile for his second last scene. You're definitely supposed to think Tarlok could be Amon, and it might be hard to remember that when you're watching it and you already know the story. I think these two scenes together are pretty effective in getting that across. You're supposed to get the feeling that Korra's eyes are sort of trembling with fear here, but that's not what actually happens. Only the light reflected in them is. So what's going on? Milo's in the building she's looking at, jangling the fucking lights around real fast? Oh hey, there's a bunch of spaghetti wires around in this shot. Like, a lot. Probably too many. Why would they need all of these? It's feast or famine with these things. What's up with Mako's hair? It's all disheveled even before he gets hit by traffic.
I'm so sorry, I didn't see you.
How could you not see me? I mean, I was
I mean, another immediately unlikable character trait for Mako. He's suddenly not angry because the person that hit him is a really attractive girl. Like what? You probably would have stayed angry at a dude or a less attractive girl, right? Just makes him feel like a sleaze. Also, it was absolutely his own fault. Why was he mad in the first place? This dude just saw his trolley was leaving and darted out into the road. Like, you were asking for it, bro. Mako runs out from in front of this truck, gets smashed, and Asami only rights her moped to face the right way before getting off. But in this next shot, her moped is way over here, parked in front of the truck. And what's this dude doing? Get off the road, man.
How about I treat you to dinner? Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Kwong's Cuisine.
I don't have any clothes nice enough for a place that classy.
I'll take care of that.
Yeah, this supermodel chick hit me with her moped, and then she asked me out to dinner at this super expensive place, and when I said I didn't have nice enough clothes, she just told me she would buy the clothes. This is a real story that happened. Here we see the sun setting over Air Temple Island, and as we know from the opening to episode 1, the bay the island sits into is to the west of the city, meaning that this shot, looking out to the water behind it, is indeed facing west, where the sun sets. Well done, show. You know, these are the kind of things you gotta worry about when you're overanalyzing. These are the money points. This is what everyone subscribes for.
I'm not interrupting, am I?
This is my home, Tarlok. We're about to eat dinner.
Good, because I am absolutely famished. Airbenders never turn away a hungry guest, am I right?
They do when you break into their house, probably. I feel like Tenzin should be a little more up in arms about this. I mean, Pam is right, Tenzin. Put your foot down.
Why do you have 3 ponytails? And how come you smell like a lady? You're weird.
Well, aren't you precocious?
Hold on one sec. Of a child having developed certain abilities or proclivities at an earlier age than usual. Yeah, I mean, I guess. The size of this green pepper and location of these carrots and brown things change between shots, and then they just disappear entirely.
Attack Amon directly. Someone who is fearless in the face of danger.
Join your task force? I can't. I came to Republic City to finish my avatar training with Tenzin. Right now, I just need to focus on that.
Korra's voice actress, Janet Varney, does a really good job in this scene. She makes Korra seem hesitant and unsure of her words here, which is really good, because she's not telling the truth here. She doesn't want to join the task force because she's afraid of Amon, not because of her training.
Ah, welcome to Kwong's Cuisine, Master Mako.
Master?
Wait, Kwan's has a back room where you can get a makeover if you have a weird rich benefactor? Isn't this like a restaurant?
The scarf stays.
Sorry, babe, the scarf stays on during Kwan's Cuisine. The scarf's length changes dramatically between these two shots. This length doesn't look right at all.
I am such a big pro bending fan. I caught all of your matches this season.
Yeah, this supermodel chick hit me with her moped, and then she asked me out to dinner at this super expensive place, and when I said I didn't have nice enough clothes, she just said she would buy the clothes. And then it turned out she's also like a huge fan of me and my sports team. No, now, dude, I know it sounds too good to be true.
Pardon me, Miss Sato. Your main course.
Miss Sato? You wouldn't happen to be related to Hiroshi Sato, creator of the Sato-mobile?
Yeah, he's my dad.
Get out of town!
Yeah, this supermodel chick hit me with her moped, and then she asked me out to dinner at this super expensive place, and when I said I didn't have nice enough clothes, she said she would just buy the clothes. And then it turned out she's also like a huge fan of me and my sports team. And also, she's like super rich because her dad is this like billionaire industrialist / inventor. No, bro, I swear!
That's alright. We're probably out of the tournament anyway. Unless some money miraculously drops out of the sky by tomorrow.
I mean, when you put it like that, Bolin, it does sound a little contrived.
Tarlock sends his compliments and urges you to reconsider his offer.
Tell him I haven't changed my mind.
Who's this Tarlock guy? Is he bothering you? Huh? Because I could have a word with him.
No, Bolin, that doesn't work, man. Just don't do it. Mako might have these big honking eyebrows too if he didn't style them. Ever think about that?
I too came from humble beginnings. Why, when I was your age, I was a mere shoe shiner. And all I had to my name was an idea. The Sato-mobile.
So wait, when you were shining shoes one day, you just thought, wait, hold on, what about cars? Has anyone thought of cars yet?
I'm going to sponsor the Fire Ferrets in the tournament.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this supermodel chick hit me with her moped, and then she asked me out to dinner at this super expensive place, and when I said I didn't have nice enough clothes, she said that she would just buy the clothes. And then it turns out she's like also a huge fan of me and my sports team. And also she's super rich because her dad is like this billionaire industrialist / inventor. Yeah, and then he gave us 30,000 yuans to cover our tournament entry just because, basically. Dude, I know how it sounds.
Avatar Korra, I have something for you.
Iki and Janor are playing Pai Sho in the background here. Nice, nice.
It doesn't matter how many gifts Tarlock sends. I'm not joining his task force.
All right, Korra, Jesus, stop being a dick. I kind of side with Amon in the case of maybe only you. You're just kind of a bully when it comes to using your bending. Damn, Tenzin kind of dripped to the nines. I mean, Korra's outfit is great too and all, but damn, Tenzin.
Hey, Korra.
Wait, did you buy Bolin nice clothes too? I guess it might be part of the sponsorship deal. No way you had this hanging in his closet. Do they even have closets?
I believe you and Avatar Korra have already met?
Just because the city's throwing you this big to-do, don't think you're something special.
Whoa, all right, Lynn, chill with the velociraptor face. What happened? This is framed really strangely. Korra is already at the party, so you would have thought the ravenous paparazzi would have stormed her right away. But only now, after a weird transition to her and Tarlock being upstairs for some reason, do the cameras and microphones come out. This wouldn't work like this at all. Also, Tarlock and Korra stop very clearly halfway down these steps, but Tarlock pushes her about a step out as he introduces her. But Korra doesn't step down. Damn, maybe Korra's really good at airbending, actually.
You promised to serve this city. Aren't you going back on that promise now?
Do you think pro bending is more important than fighting the revolution?
How are these big-ass heavy glasses staying on your head if they aren't resting on your ears? Are you just constantly metal bending them for aesthetic? Because if you are, I'm actually kind of down with that. That's pretty sick.
How do you think Avatar Aang would have handled this?
Are you afraid of Amon?
I'm not afraid of anybody. If the city needs me, then I'll join Tarlock's task force and help fight Amon.
Here, once again, we see Korra being bad at her job. She's easily swayed by public opinion and this snake behind her. She's not good at this part, and that's a big reason of why the end of this episode actually works.
According to my sources, there is a cellar underneath this bookstore where equalists train chi blocking in secret.
All right, everyone at the equalist chi blocking training, be sure to bring your equalist masks. Otherwise, it doesn't count. Korra does this thing where the quote-unquote camera shifts focus between foreground and background sometimes, which it doesn't need to since this is animated, but it's still a cool artistic choice to include that. This one is a little weird though, as you can see the guy Korra's next to come into focus as she leans back to be in line with him. I mean, this dude is dying rapidly unless he can combustion man himself out. The scene cuts away, so maybe Tarlock let him out? Hey, who's on hiding up in the tunnel rafters duty in case the chi blocking thing gets raided tonight? It's Gary's night tonight. Oh, okay, he's good at that. Another instance of useless slow-mo for no reason. The hit probably would have felt better if it was just played normally. Tarlok once again freezes off all entryways for air for this guy, and no way he's smashing his way out. And Korra doesn't seem very concerned at all. I feel like this could have been a good scene for Korra to realize that Tarlok's methods are extreme but effective, and that might just be what her frightened brain likes right now. But since she's still a good guy, maybe she would unfreeze this guy's head. That way we can see Tarlok as brutal and Korra as still afraid, but at least she's still a good person.
We make a good team, Avatar.
Do you think this line is supposed to have a double meaning to get into Korra's head? Like, yes, he's saying we make a good team, comma, Avatar, as in we make a good team, Korra. But is he also saying we make a good team Avatar, like Team Avatar? Wait, where did these other two guys in uniform come from? We only ever saw two of them, Gary and this guy with the bolus. They're called boluses, by the way. And where'd the non-uniform chi blockers that you caught go? You could see all the reporters from the party in Korra's honor from earlier are also here in this freeze frame, trying to get the scoop on this story too.
Because Amon is hiding in the shadows like a coward. Amon, I challenge you to a duel.
I like this scene a lot, actually, and Korra's reasoning. Like a lot of the best intricate emotional beats in Avatar, it just feels very human. Korra's stressed about Amon, and it's really bothering her, and rather than having to deal with these emotions all day, every day, she just wants to get it over with, even if she's not confident it will go well. That feels genuine. Ah yes, a lovely Zamboni ride through Central Park, every girl's dream second date.
This scarf was my father's, and it's all I have left of him.
Oh, so this is where they wanted to do the scarf reveal with Asami, so they could just fast-track their relationship even harder. Which is weird because I don't think we needed it for this relationship. They met, they were instantly attracted to one another, and they hit it off. What? That happens sometimes, that's all I need. But Korra and Mako very much did not hit it off. Mako still hasn't said a kind word to Korra outside of pro-bending performances. If we got this reveal with Korra, it might have endeared them to one another more, I feel.
Don't try to stop me and don't follow me.
This is all you're doing.
I tried to talk her out of it too, but she's made up her mind.
I'm not sure what Tarlok's angle here is, honestly, because he had a very evil smile when Korra announced the duel with Amon, so him trying to talk her out of it, even if he did technically try, he probably didn't mean. So if he didn't mean it, then what? He's just hoping Korra beats Amon in a straight-up fight? He thinks Amon will play fair? The idea that Tarlok might be Amon should still be in the back of the viewers' minds here, but we know that he isn't, so what the fuck is your angle, dude? You're just betting it all? It's a full moon again? A full week passes over the course of this episode. Asami says it.
Why didn't you accept the new silk scarf I bought for you last week?
It's not like this is just the next night. This is even worse than Airbender. There's like 3 full moons in a single episode. Oh, you're lucky you did a cross-dissolved time fade show. I was counting those rings of the bell, and you only made it to 8 when it's supposed to be midnight. I got my eye on you. Man, I don't care where you are or what time it is. A city this big with electricity would never be this dark. The bolus guy, he's escaped, your arch nemesis. He fucked you up last time you didn't have Tarlok to help, you're doomed. Alright, it is a really cool idea for a fight, even though it doesn't last long. Firebending illuminating a dark area? Yeah, it's pretty cool. I wonder though, does this imply these guys can see in the dark? Because what was their plan if Korra didn't firebend? Because their eyes are usually green and glowing, and that's like exactly how you convey night vision to a viewer. But that doesn't seem right. No way they had night vision back then. Wrong, actually. Night vision was created in 1929, apparently. What the hell? It seems way more modern than that in my head. So these guys probably do have night vision. Also, how'd you guys all get here without Tarlok knowing? He said that he had eyes on the island.
We'll be watching the island closely. If anything goes wrong, I have a fleet of police airships ready to swoop down.
What is this light source? It's just like coming from Korra? It's not coming from the ceiling. Amon should walk up and be like, why are you glowing? Amon also steps out of some void realm here or something. Like, he doesn't step into the light. He steps out of some darkness he's shrouded in somehow. Here we get a pretty decent look at Amon's eyes, even though it's dark, and I think this creates a later missed opportunity.
Although it would be the simplest thing for me to take away your bending right now.
Yes, it would be. Do it.
I won't.
Oh.
You'd only become a martyr. Benders of every nation would rally behind your untimely demise.
Okay, keep that in mind. Amon doesn't want to antagonize the rest of the world by doing something too drastic here. That is the only reason that he doesn't take Korra's bending, despite having her completely helpless. What is this move that Amon does to knock Korra out? He just like shivs her in the shoulder with his middle and ring finger? You can't do anything too violent since it's Nickelodeon, obviously, and they probably wouldn't even let him do a chop or make a fist. So with how fast they did this, it's a pretty decent workaround, I think. Yeah, we get some flashes to the future flashback, but we don't see anything unique, so we'll get to that when the show does. It's a nice touch that the rocks Korra kicked up while she struggled are still here.
I'm okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
I was so terrified. I felt so helpless.
face. This is a great moment for Korra. A big theme in this first season is identity, and Korra has to reckon with the idea that Amon has the ability to take her bending. And that's what Korra is to herself. She's her bending. Ever since she was young, she's been over the moon to be the Avatar. And Amon is someone who can directly threaten her sense of self. So Korra breaking down here and being really rattled is a great moment. All she's good at right now for her job is the bending part. She's not a good public figure, and she gets mentally tossed around by authority figures. If she loses her bending, she's not just not the Avatar anymore, she probably wouldn't even feel like Korra anymore, to herself. She's not this big, tough, confident person in the face of this. She's afraid. And those emotions are something that's very interesting to see a character like Korra deal with. Hopefully it's highlighted a lot in the coming season. A Voice in the Night is a pretty good episode, I would say. Probably the best one since the opening one. Tarlok's introduction opens up new and interesting pathways the story can go, and exploring Korra's struggle with anything other than the physicality of being the Avatar is pretty interesting. This episode, weirdly, is sort of a setup for the rest of the season. It sets pretty much all the plots in place. Tarlok's political sway over Korra, Tenzin's role in the council becomes more clear, the pro-bending stuff, and even the love triangle stuff too. So the first 3 episodes were sort of introducing our characters and how the world has changed, and the new additions to it, and this episode was setting up the things that are actually going to happen, and I think it does it pretty well. Patreon shoutouts, if you want to see the next 2 episodes of Overanalyzing Korra ahead of the YouTube releases, you can support me on Patreon for just a few bucks. Link, as always, is in the description below the video. Biggest shout out to all of my top patrons: Omega Fighter, who kicked an 80-yard field goal when he was 10 years old. Scouts wanted him to play in the NFL right out of high school, but the government didn't let him because his leg was contracted and seen as a nuclear deterrent by the time he graduated. Sean Martin, who chased a tidal wave back into the sea, not on his fucking watch. Stephanie Riches, who wore a full suit of plate armor to prom, and yeah, she got laughed at, but who was laughing after she slew the 2 completely unrelated dragons that showed up that night. Thomas Lautenbach, who travels backwards in time by a day every time he does a cartwheel. Unfortunately, he stays in the exact location he cartwheels into, so the Earth isn't there anymore, so he would just be flung out into the vacuum of space. Tiago Nascimento, who's the reason all of the alligators are in New York sewers. He drove them all there in the early 1900s. The place was fucking infested with them. He's like alligator St. Peter. And Whitrow, who was walking home from the park with their basketball, and someone tried to mug him, but he just crossed them over so hard that the mugger ran away in defeat. And of course, my god overanalyzers: Two Boots Are Beat, Andrew Wattrett, Austin Gallup, Bob Deff, Dizzy Payne, Dr. Xerox, Dominic Saint, Donut, Distant, Aaron Grace, Jackson, John Ajaka, Justin Fletchall, Justin Wells, Medium D Speaks, Nicholas Abbott, Peter Bayron, Reese, Rocketmas, Ryan Gregorikos, Ryan Maxwell, Samuel Vanderplatz, Sean Flowers, Super Snipper, Trans Women Are Women, Turt Bobs, and some sort of bear face. Next up, I'm gonna level with you. It's not a very good one.